करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। प्रातः स्मरामि हृदि संस्फुरदात्मतत्त्वम् सच्चित् सुखं परमहं सगतिं तुरीयम् यत्स्वप्नजागरसुषुप्तमवेति नित्यम् तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलमहं न च भूतसङ्घः। तपोभीक्षीणपापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्षोऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते। रूपवर्णादिकर्मं विहाय परमार्थवित् परिपूर्णचिदानन्दस्वरूपेणावतिष्ठते। ज्ञातृज्ञानज्ञेयभेदः परेणात्मनि विद्यते। चिदानन्दैकरूपत्वात् दीप्यते स्वयमेव तत्। एवमात्मारणौ ध्यानं मथने सततं कृते उदितावगतिर्ज्वाला सर्वाज्ञानेन्धनं दहेत्। अरुणेनेव बोधेन पूर्वं सन्तमसे हृते तत आविर्भवेदात्मा स्वयमेवांशुमानिव। आत्मा तु सततं प्राप्यो अप्राप्तवद्विद्यया तन्नाशे प्राप्तवद्भाति स्वकण्ठाभरणं यथा। स्थाणौ पुरुषवद्भ्रान्त्या कृता ब्रह्मणि जीवता जीवस्य तात्विके रूपे तस्मिन् दृष्टे निवर्तते। तत्त्वस्वरूपानुभावादुत्पन्नं ज्ञानमञ्जसा अहं ममेति चाज्ञानं बाधते दिग्भ्रमादिवत्। सम्यग् विज्ञानवान् योगी स्वात्मन्येवाखिलं जगत् एकं च सर्वमात्मानम् ईक्षते ज्ञानचक्षुषा। आत्मैवेदं जगत् सर्वम् आत्मनोऽन्यन्न विद्यते। मृदो यद्वद्घटादीनि स्वात्मानं सर्वमीक्षते। जीवन्मुक्तस्तु तद्विद्वान् पूर्वोपाधिगुणां त्यजेत्। सच्चिदानन्दरूपत्वात् सच्चिदानन्दरूपत्वात् भवेद्भ्रमरकीटवत्। तीर्त्वा मोहार्णवं हत्वा रागद्वेषादिराक्षसान् योगी शान्तिसमायुक्त आत्मा रामो विराजते। बाह्यानित्यसुखासक्तिं हित्वात्मसुखनिर्वृतः घटस्थदीपवत् स्वस्थः स्वान्तरेव प्रकाशते। उपाधिस्थोऽपि तद्धर्मैः अलिप्तो व्योमवन्मुनिः सर्वविन्मूढवत् तिष्ठेत् असक्तो वायुवच्चरेत् उपाधिविलयाद्विष्णौ निर्विशेषं विषेन्मुनिः जले जलं वियद्भ्योम्नि तेजस्तेजसि वा यथा यल्लाभान्न परो लाभो यत्सुखान्न परं सुखं यज्ञानान्न परं ज्ञानं तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत् यद्दृष्ट्वा न परं दृश्यं यद्भूत्वा न पुनर्भवः यज्ञात्वा न परं ज्ञेयं तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत् तिर्यगूर्ध्वमधः पूर्णं सच्चिदानन्दमद्वयम् अनन्तं नित्यमेकं यत् तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत् अतद्व्यावृत्तिरूपेण वेदान्तैर्लक्ष्यते द्वयम् अखण्डानन्दमेकं यत् तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत् अखण्डानन्दरूपस्य तस्यानन्दलवाश्रिताः ब्रह्माद्यास्तारतम्येन भवन्त्यानन्दिनोऽखिलाः तद्युक्तमखिलं वस्तु व्यवहारस्तदन्वितः तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म क्षीरे सर्पिरिवाखिले अनण्वस्थूलमर्रस्वं दीर्घं मजम अव्ययम् अनण्वस्थूलमर्रम् अनण्वस्थूलमर्रस्वं मदीर्घं मजमव्ययम् अरूपगुणवर्णाख्यं तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत् यद्भासा भास्यतेऽर्कादि भास्यैर्यत्तु न भास्यते येन सर्वमिदं भाति तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत् स्वयं अन्तः बहिर्व्याप्य स्वयम् अन्तर्बहिर्व्याप्य भासयन्नखिलं जगत् ब्रह्म प्रकाशते वह्निम् ब्रह्म प्रकाशते वह्निः ब्रह्म प्रकाशते वह्निप्रत अप्राप् अप् ब्रह्म प्रकाशते वह्निः प्रतप्ताय स पिण्डवत् जगद्विलक्षणं ब्रह्म ब्रह्मणोऽन्यन्न किञ्चन ब्रह्मान्यन् भाति चेन्मिथ्या यथा मरुमरीचिका दृश्यते श्रूयते यद्यत् दृश्यते श्रूयते यद्ब्रह्म दृश्यते श्रूयते यत्य ब्रह्मणोऽन्यन्न तद्भवेत् तत्त्वज्ञानाच्च तद्ब्रह्मः सच्चिदानन्दमद्वयम् सर्वगं सच्चिदात्मानं ज्ञानचक्षुर्निरीक्षते ज्ञानचक्षुर्निरीक्षते अज्ञानचक्षुनिर्क्षेत भास्वन्तं भानुमन्धवत् ॐ तत्सत् सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु। I think we completed 50.
Bela, Hariom Belaji.
Hari Om.
Yeah, we'll be doing 63 today. Jagad Vilakshanam Brahma.
Okay.
We did the
Dhanyavad,
iron
dhanyavad.
wall yesterday, no?
Yeah,
62.
yeah. 60.
Page number 119.
Okay, thank you.
119.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. I'll just read the previous paragraph of the 60th or 62nd verse. Iron ball is black in color and cold to the touch. Fire is golden in color and hot. The color and the heat of fire penetrates the iron ball when it, for a sufficiently long time, comes in contact with the fire. So too, when inert and insentient matter is presided over by the spirit, the Sat Chit Ananda nature of the spirit gets transferred onto the matter. Jagad Vilakshanam Brahma Brahmanoऽन्यन्न Kinchana Brahmanyat Bhati Chenmithya Yatha Marumarichika. Jagad Vilakshanam, which is other than the universe, Brahma, the Brahman, Brahmanaha, apart from Brahman, Anyat, other, na, not, Kinchana, a little, Brahmanyat, other than the Brahman, Bhati, shines, Chet, if, Mithya, unreal, Yatha, just as, Marumarichika, the mirage. Jagad Vilakshanam Brahma Brahmanah Anyat Na Kinchan Brahmanyat Bhati Chet Mithya Yatha Marumarichika. Brahman is other than this, the universe. There exists nothing that is not Brahman. If any object other than Brahman appears to exist, it is unreal like the mirage. I repeat, Brahman is other than this, the universe. There exists nothing that is not Brahman. If any object other than Brahman appears to exist, it is unreal like the mirage. Kshamyata, mirage. It is unreal like the mirage. In the previous example, the iron ball is other than the fire. Is then the Brahman other than the universe, which has an empirical existence? Or is it in itself ever uncontaminated by the world of matter? I repeat the question. In the previous example, the iron ball is other than the fire. Is then the Brahman other than the universe, which has an empirical existence? Or is it in itself ever uncontaminated by the world of matter? What appears as the world of diversity with its different names and forms to the ignorant is realized by the illumined to be an indivisible and non-dual Brahman. This multiplicity, being illusory, does not defile the Brahman. In the case of the desert and the mirage, the desert alone exists. The ignorant sees the delusion of water pools in the desert called the mirage. When once a deluded mind has seen a mirage, it can multiply in its misapprehensions, such as the waters of the mirage having waves, and even the sun reflecting on the water surface, etc. The mirage is different from the desert, yet without the desert, the mirage cannot exist. And the mirage waters can never wet even a grain of the desert sand. Similarly, if one thinks that this world of plurality is real, he is mistaken, for it does not and it cannot exist without the Brahman. Its existence is like the mirage, which is unreal. The world of plurality can never contaminate the infinite. The end of the illusion, which gives us the wrong notion that the names and forms are real, is the end of the perception of the plurality and the agitations caused by them in our bosom. In one respect, therefore, the ultimate reality, the supreme Brahman, is different. And from that point of view, it is other than the universe. And yet, viewed from another angle, it so fully permeates everything which it has created that there is nothing other than the Brahman, and that if there should be anything different from it, it can only be an unreal appearance. I repeat once again, it's so beautiful. Brahman is other than this, the universe. There exists nothing that is not Brahman. If any object other than the Brahman appears to exist, it is unreal like the mirage. In the previous example, the iron ball is other than the fire. Is then the Brahman other than the universe, which has an empirical existence? Or is it in itself ever uncontaminated by the world of matter? What appears as the world of diversity with its different names and forms to the ignorant is realized by the illumined to be an indivisible and non-dual Brahman. This multiplicity, being illusory, does not defy the Brahman. In the case of the desert and the mirage, the desert alone exists. The ignorant sees the delusion of water pools in the desert called the mirage. When once a deluded mind has seen a mirage, it can multiply in its misapprehensions, such as the waters of the mirage having waves, and even the sun reflecting on the water surface, etc. The mirage is different from the desert. Yet, without the desert, the mirage cannot exist. And the mirage waters can never wet even a grain of this desert sand. Similarly, if one thinks that this world of plurality is real, he is mistaken, for it does not and it cannot exist without the Brahman. Its existence is like the mirage, which is unreal. The world of plurality can never contaminate the infinite. The end of the illusion, which gives us the wrong notion that the names and forms are real, is the end of the perception of the plurality and the agitations caused by them in our bosom. In one respect, therefore, the ultimate reality, the supreme Brahman, is different. And from that point of view, it is other than the universe. And yet, viewed from another angle, it so fully permeates everything which it has created that there is nothing other than the Brahman. And that if there should be anything different from it, it can only be an unreal appearance. So beautiful. So Swamiji has very well explained in the previous example the iron ball, and here about the mirage. There is only one thing which is truth, and that is Brahman. Whatever things we are seeing, objects we are seeing, that is because of this very subject which is you, the reflection of that very Atman. And when it is in the example of mirage is so beautifully explained by Swamiji that its very existence is because of the desert. Desert is the substratum on because of which the mirage appears. So the whole Jagat appears as though real to us, but it is just like mirage. And the perception of that Jagat is also because although we see it as a multiplicity, it is only due to Atman. There is nothing other than Atman. It is so filled with the same Atma Tattvam that there is no space for other than Brahman or Atman, whatever you say. Yeah, kindly share your understanding also, please.
You explained well, Belaji. The whole of essence is that because of that ignorance of we relate to the names and forms, and we develop that plurality, and uh, we are just like entangled in that plurality, and the main the Brahman is like it is not noticed if we think that this world is real and the real thing is missed. The the this diversity, that the way we get caught up in our the name and the forms, it is so that it's just like a chakra view. You get caught up, and then you realize, then again you come out. It is such an illusion that we are in. We are living in an illusion, all misapprehensions. Yeah, just like and this, when once a deluded mind has seen a mirage, it can multiply in its misapprehensions, that he even sees the water having waves and the sun reflecting on the water surface to that extent that one get caught up, like, though it is unreal, but how, like, in that also you further you further get more and more into that unreality, yet you start seeing the sun reflecting on it, the waves. So it is the height of misapprehension which in which a person can deal with or go into that uh, unreality. This line, the deluded mind. how a deluded mind
Yeah, so
go to any
beautifully.
extent. Yeah,
Yes, very true. For joy and for sorrows, both. Like when there is, we even see the Chakravat coming in that mirage,
yeah.
and like when the sun is reflecting, we see the shiny stones also. Yeah, it is so true.
Relating to our normal living, like uh, how suppose some property dispute is going on, and how the people are fighting or for a position, and they do not know that it is all unreal and how long will it last, but still they are fighting. And I feel that life is so short, and just because of that ignorance people wasted such a precious life, human life. It is wasted in all the petty things, uh, just because of that ignorance, that lack of knowledge. And they go on continuing the, like, years after years, not realizing the main goal of the life. No, it is
Hmm, very
like
true.
being in knowledge, you feel so disheartening sometimes when you see around people going doing all uh, like all not good conduct they are having, and then going after all materialistic things in unfair means, by like they just have to have that possessiveness. But they don't realize that it is only a momentary. How long will they'll only possess it until they are living. Once they are not here on the earth, then the thing is there to hold. So but that greed is so much that one gets caught up in that, and it is just that lack of wisdom and lack of knowledge. Or maybe that they did not receive any guidance, or they must be having some prarabdha. Like it's so multi reasoning that for every person different reasons are there. But in the end you feel uh, sad seeing all this around you. Yeah.
Very beautifully explained, Doctor. Very nice. So this अज्ञाना is anadi, वो सदियों से चला आ रहा है. Even in Mahabharata, there also the dispute. It's been and it will continue. Just
Yeah.
we have to keep our sword of knowledge in our hands. Mhm.
And this mirage, that is compared, no, the mirage water can never wet even a grain of the desert sand. So that all this
Hmm.
multipolarity, that will not affect that Brahman. It will, like, it is just a waste of time and energy, I think. All wasting of their time and energy on vague things. And the Brahman is not affected. It is not realized, or its presence is felt. Even that presence is also not felt within. No, they just live like animals and then go away. Some people have jealousy, some have uh, they hold some uh, like disputes,
Hmm.
and
Correct.
and that is how then they leave their body also, without realizing and acknowledging other important part of themselves that is not realized. Yeah.
Very well explained. Yeah.
The last few lines, in one respect, can you please read it again, Bilaji?
Yeah, yeah. In the last paragraph,
Yeah, in one respect, therefore, the ultimate reality.
yeah, I will read the last paragraph. The end of the illusion, which gives us the wrong notion that the names and forms are real, is the end of the perception of the plurality and the agitations caused by them in our bosom. In one respect, therefore, the ultimate reality, the supreme Brahman, is different. And from that point of view, it is other than the universe. And yet, viewed from another angle, it so fully permeates everything which it has created that there is nothing other than the Brahman, and that if there should be anything different from it, it can only be an unreal appearance. So that adhyasa, when it ends, then everything is very clear that whatever multiplicity we had, and due to that, there were those waves, and they were just like mirage. But there is nothing other than Brahman. It is only due to Brahman you see the creation around you, names and forms also. So the Brahman is the very substratum due to which we are able to see the whole world around us. It is one only.
Yeah, they have said that it is, though it is different, like it is different from this, this materialistic world, like all the this multi-plurality with this multiplicity. But on the other hand, it permeates everything. It is in and through everything. Though it is in itself distinct, but still the second aspect is that it permeates everything. Two point of from two different point of views it has been described.
Yes, very true. It is the substratum. It is the, because a desert is the substratum because of which mirage appears. If there is no desert, there is no mirage. So that's why we feel that desert and mirage as two different, but it is only due to Brahman or Atman. Kindly mute yourself. If by mistake you are unmuted, please. Sureshji, kindly mute yourself. If anyone, Hari Om, Hari Om, Sureshji, kindly mute yourself. Yeah, anyone want to share? Anyone would like to share?
Sureshji hasn't. I think he's not listening, so he's
Yeah, he is away from the phone.
unmuted.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not aware that it is.
Yeah.
You can continue, Belaji. No,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't matter. We are able to hear.
दृश्यते श्रूयते यद्य तद्ब्रह्मन् तद्ब्रह्मणोऽन्यन्न तद्भवेत् न दृश्यते श्रूयते यद्य
You can say
तद्ब्रह्म
yadyat.
यद्यत ओके धन्यवाद दृश्यते श्रूयते यद्यत ब्रह्मणोऽन्यन्न तद्भवेत् करेक्ट यद्यत दृश्यते हाँ यद्यत इट इज ये दृश्यते श्रूयते यद्यत् ब्रह्मणोऽन्यन्न तद्भवेत् तत्त्वज्ञानाच्च तद्ब्रह्म सच्चिदानन्दमद्वयम् दृश्यते I'm not the host, my dear. Brahmaraji is the host. Brahmaraji can mute. Hari Om Sureshji, kindly mute yourself, please. By mistake, you are unmuted. Dhanyavad. Drishyate, which is perceived. Shruyate, which is heard. Yadyat, all that. Brahmanonyat, apart from Brahman. Na, not. Tat, that. Bhavet, can be. Tattva jnanat, from the knowledge of the reality. Cha, and. Tad Brahma, that Brahman. Satchidanand, which is existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. Advayam, non-dual. Drishyate, shruyate, yadyat, brahmanonyat, na tat bhavet, tattvajnanat cha tad brahma, satchidananda, advayam. All that is perceived or heard is Brahman and nothing else. Attaining the knowledge of the reality, one sees the universe as the non-dual Brahman, existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. I repeat, all that is perceived or heard is Brahman and nothing else. Attaining the knowledge of the reality, one sees the universe as the non-dual Brahman, existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. Whatever you hear or see or perceive through the sense organs cannot be anything other than the Brahman, just as whatever one sees in one's dream state cannot be anything other than one's own waking state mind. The consciousness is that which presides over and lends its potentiality in all our activities of perception, feeling, and thinking. It is the awareness in us that illumines the knowledge, ignorance, anger, love, and such other hosts of feelings and emotions in us. If consciousness does not give life to the prana in us, where is the existence in us? Realize, therefore, that whatever exists either in this limited body, mind, and intellect, microcosm, or in the outer created world, macrocosm, they are all its own manifestation and nothing else. When this truth is completely realized and experienced, one cannot but see the entire universe as a huge playfield in which the Paramatman alone revels as Sat Chit Ananda Absolute. For it is one and one only, Ekam Eva Advitiyam Brahma. I repeat, so beautiful. All that is perceived or heard is Brahman and nothing else. Attaining the knowledge of the reality, one sees the universe as the non-dual Brahman, existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. Whatever you hear or see or perceive through the sense organs cannot be anything other than the Brahman, just as whatever one sees in one's dream state cannot be anything other than one's own waking state mind. The consciousness is that which presides over and lends its potentiality in all our activities of perception, feeling, and thinking. It is the awareness in us that illumines the knowledge, ignorance, anger, love, and such other hosts of feelings and emotions in us. If consciousness does not give life to the prana in us, where is the existence in us? Realize, therefore, that whatever exists either in this limited body, mind, and intellect, microcosm, or in the outer created world, macrocosm, they are all its own manifestation and nothing else. When this truth is completely realized and experienced, one cannot but see the entire universe as a huge playfield in which the Paramatman alone revels as Sat Chit Ananda Absolute. For it is one and one only. Ekam eva advitiyam Brahma. So very nice. So there is nothing other than Brahman. It is again the same thing. It is the same one reality which is existing as creation, Trigdrishya. The way the example of the dream is given so beautifully that in our dream world, it is our own mind, the waking state mind only, has created all different multiplicity. But the reality is, it is one only. It is one self only, which is perceived as different characters, different time, different scene inside our dream. But the reality is only one. In the same way, in the whole Jagat, the in and through is only one thing, whether it is limited body or the whole Jagat. Yeah, kindly share your understanding. Yeah, here I just want to bring to your notice whether it is knowledge or ignorance. All those opposite values, whatever they are all nothing but the reflection of that one consciousness. Yeah, please, I request everyone to please share.
The consciousness is like which presides over every aspect of our you can say nature, like whatever you are thinking, whatever you are doing, like whatever that awareness. And that awareness, if you see, commonly when we see the there is so lack of awareness. uh, and in few days I've been observing that in Hindi we say sajagta. Sajagta is awareness, no? So like the water is flowing from a tap, nobody is closing it. Some light fan are on. So that is all. That awareness. I find it so lacking. Uh, from few days I've been noticing this. And I am always when I see this, I just have this one line thought, lack of sajagta. I just say sajagta, no sajagta. So it is like, that how that awareness is so lacking. And sometimes I feel that, is it that I am so much aware, or is it that it is just a carelessness? So I don't think so it is carelessness, because वो कहते हैं ना कि बोध ही नहीं है, आसपास में क्या हो रहा है बोध ही नहीं है. So that sajagta, that awareness is not there, because that consciousness has not expanded, I think. Like you are aware of things, no, whatever is happening around you, and what things you have to do. You are aware of those things and you plan accordingly. So when there is lack of this awareness, then things don't go as they should go. There is always some incompleteness in them. There's so lacuna. You feel that this is how it should have been done, but it is not being done. So I don't know, from few days it is coming, this sentence is coming again and again when I just look around. Like, it's not that I purposely doing it, but it happens so that something is going on and nobody is aware. So I feel that how come I am noticing it and other people are not noticing it? That
And
that is,
Mr.
yeah.
Savita, what were you noticing? I didn't get it. I kind of missed
Yeah.
what you're saying.
So
Huh?
I was saying that when we are living in this world, something is wrong around, like that. Suppose a tap is open and water is flowing. There are so many
Right.
people, but nobody is noticing it. So is it lack of
Mhm.
carelessness, we can say, or is it lack of awareness? Or is it some
Awareness.
awareness? No.
Because
And
people are,
Sir,
we
lack
are
of
not aware of
sensitivity also. Sensitivity.
then
They
the
are not
ignorant. Yeah, people are not really oriented to it's all the veil of ignorance, covering them, that we are all attached to our own self, self meaning the body and objects.
yeah,
Then we are more into that rather than, looking
yeah,
inside of
they are more
awareness.
towards themselves, though they are towards themselves, but still
Yeah, that
they are
ego
not.
oriented, right?
I don't know,
You
like,
want, yeah, which is
suppose,
true. Like even like I would say, like, I mean, I would say that, in the past, like, yeah, we were aware of God and relate things like that, but you were still in terms of the dual nature, right? And then you were probably more worried about your job and your family or just children or something or other to take care of. When people are in that mode, not you don't even think like that when the person has difficulty. Oh, you'd like to do some prayachita karma, like, okay, what is the thing that I can do that would get me out of this trouble? That's how we think. I mean, most human think, and I maybe if they're saint or somebody who already had this knowledge from childhood, then maybe a little different, or the family is in that mode, then maybe different. But for us, because we wanting to know more, knowing this self, I believe me, like I was reading about all this Samijis, like Ramana Maharishi and all these people, like what is self mean. I didn't understand what self by just reading the book. And now, even there is something called self, finding yourself. You always say, who am I? What am I supposed to? How am I supposed to do this? And all that happens with our brain. Our brain actually expands, maybe our knowledge, and the time and place that happens. Um, so that's how we are able to. But now I see not only our group, I mean, there are a lot of groups like us. They are into this knowing spirituality, like doing those kind of stuff. I mean, there are people like they are still in everybody, like we are doing our own Manana class like this. There are so many study groups and so many, people are there. But then you don't see in a just walking around in shopping complex, you may not think they are aware of it unless you know them, right? How will you? We are not going to talk about it like that, right? But we do stumble down for whatever reason. mm, you get connected with those kind of people naturally. That happened to me. Like I just find people in different ways, and God shows the way to connect ourselves to with people.
Yeah, that likes attracts like. So it is in this way, like attracts like. So and also that it is the grace of God that you connect with people with whom you are just like-minded thoughts you have.
Like
Yeah, it
exactly,
happens.
like
It
minded.
happens. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
like
is the grace of
I've been like in the a year ago, I want to learn Sanskrit. I want to learn Sanskrit. I even you or the what is the name? Balaji also sent me that Sambhasha something that the Sanskrit Bharati address. I tried to send a message. It never happened. And then I kept thinking, looking at my temple website where I usually volunteer. I found they have Sanskrit class, so I started that class. It's for the class for the children as well as the adults. So now I'm learning at least just to finish the vowels kind of thing. I mean, very slow, but I am learning something. And then to that group, I found some similar, some-minded people, and connect with Swamiji and all that in the area here. So it happens, it somehow we are trying to. I always think, how did this happen? Our that thought, even the vritti, that thought is being put by Maya or this God, Brahman, because we keep thinking about these things. Oh, I want to do this or something like that. I want to know more. I want to read this sloka properly because I don't read it in Sanskrit. So at least they're showing you the way how to get there. So that is why how I feel about this. Um, I am sure there are people around that, but it may not be visible to us all the time. But eventually we'll come across some people, we connect with them.
Jai Gurudev, I feel because people's priorities are different, they find happiness in different things. So their focus is totally different. at a different place. So their mind doesn't go over there. Where there is no mind, that awareness won't be there. So that's why they won't even notice. Sometimes it happens for us also. Like, even if I know the person is in front of me, if my mind is not over there, I will not be able to notice that person, right? So maybe something similar must be happening, and that awareness is not there because they don't think of it. Their focus is not that. They find happiness somewhere else, as you said. uh, somewhere else, like material things or whatever. You might be now more aware of environment to take care of it, and that's why your focus is at these things, and that's why you notice these things.
True. What brain does not know, the eye cannot see. Like that's in the medical profession also. We talk about it. If you don't have that knowledge, that how you going to recognize that problem, right? So the same thing with when we don't have that kind of knowledge, we be kind of that awareness. It be difficult to recognize that.
Yeah, the awareness is like it is, not only the environment also, like yeah, in nature also, but even the people around you, you know their needs, you know what they require at what time. You are so much aware of every person or any inanimate object. I was just thinking over, like, why I am so observant and why I am so aware that I know that this is the time for food, this is the time for, like, my dog is sick these days from last 6 months. So I am
That you're
aware of
conscious
every,
about it.
yeah, I am
You're
aware of
conscious
every,
about it.
but
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but the people, other people, they are not aware of it. And when you are aware, then you have to take a stand also, no, to get a thing done. You have to pinpoint it, and you have to take it as your own responsibility to do. So in that way, my work never ends this way. It keeps on going because I always find something is lacking here. So I complete that. Then I think that this is not being done. So I do that. And it is sometimes I feel, so why is it that my eyes are so like it is just like a telescope looking around and finding all, and why other people are not aware of it. And I don't ask them also, no, I just start doing it myself. I feel that in Hindi you say na, जिसको खड़ा नहीं दिखा तो उसको बैठा क्या दिखेगा. So sometimes I feel this way, and I don't complain also, and I don't feel bad also now. But somehow I was wondering why I am so much aware and other people are not aware. This thought was coming from few days. Yeah, I just wanted to share.
ये हालत अभी है. अभी एनलाइटनमेंट मिल गया तो क्या होगा? So much of awareness we'll have, and just from that point think of the gurus and sons, how much they are aware of. Like, even
Yeah.
Guruji keeps saying, जब भी भक्त उनको याद करते हैं, it's like pulling his one of his hair. It is, he knows it, that he's so much of awareness these people have. So we are on the right path.
Yeah, but it is very tiring. Though you feel satisfaction in inner side, you feel a lot of satiety feeling that you have done what you were thinking that
Yes.
it is to be done. But it makes you tired also. But
Yeah,
it's good. Like you,
it is good.
yeah, it's good. Yeah.
I can feel what you must be going through, because even I keep doing the same thing. But people, there are a few points in Art of Living happiness course. if Brahmraji was there, or maybe um, anybody teacher over here can explain. Like, if you take more responsibilities, uh, you are on the right track. If your needs are more, then you'll be miserable. If your responsibilities are more, then you are on the right path. There were three things, like your responsibilities, your needs, and I think these two things were there. If any teacher is there, they could explain this.
In I would go first to the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. The second verse itself, where it says Yogaschit Vritti Nirodha, whatever discussion we had just now regarding ourselves and then comparing with the enlightened masters. So Yogaschit, Yoga is the not only the path to samadhi or to realizing the self, but it is the union with the self. And then when we talk about chit, that is our individual consciousness. When we talk about vrittis, this is where we need to understand that vrittis, this sattva, rajas, tamas, these gunas which are there, the qualities, the attributes which are there, they are like a whirlpool. They are not linear, they are not like a circle, but they are in a whirlpool. And only through abhyasa and through your sadhana, when you keep practicing it along with detachment, then you reach that state of nirodha. Then you are not affected by everything that is going on, happening around you. When we talk about the enlightened masters, they rise above the vrittis, gunatit, right, rising above the gunas. So they don't have this sattva, rajas, tamas in a whirlpool all the time. The whirlpool has completely stopped. The ocean is in a silent state, you can say, as far as they are concerned. And they have reason about everything. Like, okay, you play good music, people get enthralled with listening to good music. Nothing, neither happiness nor sorrow affects them. That is the sthiti. They have reached the level of the self, Paramanand sthiti. Whereas we individuals, we are on the path. Through the path of yoga, like yam, niyam, practicing of all this, there we are trying to reach to that level of the self, and we will only be able to attain it when the vrittis stop. When the vrittis stop, the whirlpool, the disturbances that are there in the mind, which are always like a whirlpool, when we are able to calm them and those waters become still, the cyclonic activity which is there in the mind disturbing us with what all is happening around us, sukha, dukha, whatever situation is there, then we will be able to reach that. And that happens with detachment and abhyasa and the following of the yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dhyana, dharna, dhyana, samadhi state. Ultimately, you reach samadhi. That was one part of it. Talking about the responsibilities, it was like this. If responsibilities are more and your needs are less, you will be in a happy state of mind. If your responsibilities are equal to the needs that you have, then you will be struggling all your life when both are near about the same. If your responsibilities are less and your needs will be more, then you'll be in misery. That was the way it was explained, the responsibility in the part one course. And then the more responsibility you take, the more powerful you get. Responsibility cannot be given, it has to be taken, like people like Mahatma Gandhi took it or Mother Teresa took it. Mahatma Gandhi was actually Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, but ultimately he was called Mahan Atma because of the work that he took upon his shoulders. Nobody gave it to him. He wanted to make India free through following ahimsa. So I hope that explains on responsibilities. I've been reading Patanjali's Yoga Sutras alongside this. In the night, I do that evening, night, I keep on studying that and correlating, because ultimately Patanjali Yoga Sutras is very scientific. The method by which we reach the self, the goal. I found it, whatever we are doing in Tattva Bodha, Atma Bodha, and all that, when we are doing Patanjali Yoga Sutra simultaneously, it's a very scientific method by which we can.
Percy, so where you get that Patanjali Yoga Sutra thing? Is it a book or I
It is a PDF
don't
file. Even if you search on Google, you will
okay.
only find Swami Vivekananda's translations. And it is really tough. Like, I have been trying to, I've just finished the first two words simplified, because even my participants whom I put them through Patanjali Yoga Sutras, we have sessions in the night, Gurudev talking about Patanjali Yoga Sutras. So I had one
Mhm.
group of 9 to 10, and then 10 o'clock to 10:45, a second group. So, but still the volume is low and people have not been able to understand, and they were complaining to me. So now I've started making my PowerPoint presentation and resolving the verses in my own way, so that people, breaking down each word so that people can understand. A long way to
Yeah,
go.
I also Googled it, but then I didn't go into it. I just wanted to find out if there anything like really helpful to read about it, and then see what exactly in practice.
You can,
Guruji,
because Swami Vivekananda's explanation is there. It's huge, just like we had for Atma Bodh and Tattva Bodh, we have a long explanation for every word. That way, Swami Vivekananda has gone about it. And it is very scientific, like it's not, uh, you know, knowledge,
Yeah,
like
I
in
understand.
Bhagavad Gita is different. Here it is talking about you. Patanjali Yoga Sutras is talking about you as a person. It see in Bhagavad Gita we have Vibhuti. There is a whole chapter on Vibhuti. Uh, Adhyaya is there. I don't know it's 17 or what was a chapter, but that Vibhuti is there. But that is the Vibhuti is the powers that God has. Aishwarya, fame, richness, all that which is there over there is all of for God,
Mm,
Paramatma.
yeah, I
Here
remember
it
that,
is
but
Vibhuti is the powers that you can get by doing dharana, dhyana, samadhi. When you do that, that part of yoga, then what kind of powers you can get as a person? The siddhis, as we call it, they are in Hindi. They are called siddhis that you get.
Actually, Guruji has explained it very nicely, and there is a book on Patanjali Yoga Sutra only.
Yeah, that book is there, but that book does not go sutra by sutra.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that is one part of it, which is very, I mean, suddenly you find that the book, the sutras are different, the book is nowhere in the picture, and then one gets lost. And as far as Guruji's knowledge session on that is concerned, the volume is very low, is what I found. And
Yeah,
people could not, you
audio
really had
cassettes,
to strain to hear it.
audio cassettes are there earlier.
Yeah,
You
audio,
can,
yeah, earlier audio cassettes were there. But now when you follow it sutra by sutra, na, then
yeah,
that is different. There in the audio cassettes also he starts with the yam, niyam and all that in the earlier
see,
times.
uh,
Here what happens is here he is doing it sutra by sutra. So
yes,
then that is stepwise. Like first you have to understand what is samadhi. What is your objective? What is your goal? You want to reach samadhi. Why? And then how to reach there. And that is explained.
actually very, very nice. This
Yeah,
there
it
is
is
a
very
one
scientific.
book.
It is very scientific. And
Yes,
then all this time that we see people in our group also talking about the disturbances of the mind, that I think when you do Patanjali Yoga Sutras, then you are able to take it in your stride like, okay, these people are ignorant, these people are imperfect. That also does not disturb you anymore. You, rather than getting disturbed, feel compassion for them because of their ignorance. They are not perfect, or they are not following the path that you are at. then your that vrittis that come up in your mind, the disturbances, which are like a whirlpool, that won't be there. See, some people are so cool, calm, like in Sayyam, Guruji says ultimately, cool down, calm down. So there it is explained in Patanjali Yoga Sutras, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. When you are more and more into samadhi, these three take you to, these three is called Sayyam. People may have done Sayyam, but have they realized this? And how much they can go into samadhi state when they are meditating? Are they still flooded with thoughts? So all this is because of the sattva, raja, and tama gun in us, and that is like a whirlpool. That has to stop. The gunas go beyond the gunas, and that only happens when you are ready to let go. Okay, people are ignorant. You feel a lot of love for them, a lot of compassion.
Sure.
Like when I take jail courses or when I work with terrorists also, there you feel a lot of compassion for these people. It's the wrong indoctrination they get from childhood that they are on that path. And then through love, you bring them around and then they are transformed. So when they can be transformed, our family members, how we deal with them, when you point one finger outwards, three fingers are pointing towards us, is what we need to realize now. After having so much of knowledge, we have covered nearly 16 chapters, a second time of Bhagavad Gita. And then also we are still pointing fingers of somebody who's eating non-veg, or somebody who is a communist, or somebody who is a terrorist, or a war going on, and we want to blame somebody. No, all that disturbances in our minds has to stop first. Ahimsa in our minds also, not just giving up violence everywhere else. The violence that takes place in our mind, what about it? We are mini terrorists. So that disturbance is that whirlpool of violence which causes violence in our mind, that has to stop.
There is one more book on Swami Prabhavananda. That was the first book which I have read in my life, and that changed everything. Patanjali Yoga Sutra only changed my life completely before I joined Art of Living. But I had taken that. One of my peers had given me a gift of Patanjali Yoga Sutra from Prabhavananda. Completely, it is really wonderful treatise of this one. If you go through it, you will completely change your position of thinking and everything. And therefore, uh, before TTC, Guruji says Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Narayana Bhakti Sutra, and Ashtavakra Gita. All, if these three are there, you can easily get through
Say that again, Surajji. I didn't get the second one, what you said.
that is Narada Bhakti.
Narayana?
Narada
Narad Sutras. Narad, N-A-R-A-D. Narad Sutras. Narada, call it Narada. Narada has given this sutra. Narad Bhakti Sutras.
Bhakti Sutra.
Oh, Narayana Sutra.
No, Narada.
Oh,
Narada.
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 N-A-R-A-D.
Narada Muni.
Oh, Narad Muni. Okay.
Ah.
He has sutras himself. Oh, he had done.
App, it is there.
Okay.
And Patanjali Yoga Sutra also, you need not go through word by word, at least go through once. That will give you everything. And then Ashtavakra Gita. These three are the basic thing to become a teacher. That was the earlier. And before we go through TTC, these were the things to be read and understood.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Really, it changed my life, the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. And 1998, I'm still reading it. I'm still again reading it. So many things I'm getting now clear, mind clear. First reading it does just clears your so many thoughts. and then again go to in detail, like Persiji said, no, everything, word by word, word by word. You gather from Guruji, gather from here, and everything, and all knowledge sheets, everything. Oh, wonderful. Guruji has given complete, he has made us see what happens now. Ultimately, it is you have to go into the meditation. Ultimately, whatever knowledge you get and all that, it's only knowledge. But unless you have that meditation and experience of yourself, the self knowledge will not come. You know, and Guruji has given everything in all the courses, especially the silence course. You have to repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, and then only you will understand this completely. Brahmavadi, everyone, everything. See, we have gone through all that practically, and it is easier to understand all this knowledge we get it. So Guruji has involved all the Upanishads, everything, all the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Vedas, everything points in our small Sudarshan Kriya knowledge. Such a wonderful Guru, I think we have got. And such Gurus, rarely we cannot find, and we are so lucky to find him. And that too at present, So we are with him, and we have to take complete use of him. Real. When you go through all these books, all these Upanishads, Vedas, and all that, everything is combined in that Sudarshan Kriya. You are directly going into this.
Along with this knowledge, what also is required is vairagya,
Vairagya.
non-attachment, detachment, as they say.
See,
That is
Viveka,
very important.
Vairagya,
Otherwise, all the time we are doing my family, my husband, my wife, my son, my parents, my mother, my father. All this my, I, me, mine that comes up, na? That, like Gurudev says, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is one big family. So when you spread your arms out wide, instead of holding a tight fist, I, me, mine, that is a tight fist. Open out and accept the whole world as yours. And accept all the people that are there in your family also as part of that one big family. Then that I, me, mine will not remain. That detachment has to come from children, from wife, from parents. That detachment has to come. Everybody has to go through their journey in life according to their previous karmas. This year, this birth's karmas and the previous karmas. So they will be going through. Whether we are full of sorrow for them or we take it in our stride, it is our way of doing it. So if we have the knowledge that we can stop this cyclonic whirlpool of disturbances, we can, but that will only come through detachment. That detachment has to be developed by us,
yeah.
vairagya.
Now for Vairagya, Guruji has given Seva. Seva is the same thing.
Yeah, I
So,
realize that when I do seva, that for a particular period of time when you're doing seva outside your family, what
yeah,
you're doing for your family is your duties, but you have a
duties.
responsibility towards the society. And then when you are working outside for the lesser, the downtrodden or lesser given people, those who have less than you, then your eyes open out. Okay, oh, they are not self-sufficient, and you're doing something for them, and how you realize how lucky you are. And for that
Yes.
time period, you are away from your family. So that itself causes detachment. Then you start feeling something, compassion for the poor and downtrodden, where you're doing the seva, like we work in the slums or we work in an old people's home. Then we see that there is so much of things that we can do for them also. Then our mind is not full time on I, me, my family. That is how Vairagya comes through seva. Your focus shifts. That is how you start accepting the world as one big family. And then we don't sit in. The first thing is not to sit in judgment. That is the first rule of detachment. whether they are terrorists, whether they are jail inmates, whether they are commercial sex workers. We don't sit in judgment over them. We work with them, educate, and then we move on. With love and compassion, the transformation happens. So first, we have to stop the disturbances, the vrittis in our own mind. That is why today I took up the second verse of Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Yoga Sthit Vritti Nirodha.
Nirodha, yes.
It
Chitta
is so
vritti,
important.
chitta vritti nirodha.
Yeah, dhanyavad to each one of us for this profound, deep manana today. Thank you so much for sharing. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. So, if no one has to share, then we can move ahead.
Now I feel that in our group, like, rather than chasing Atma or when will we realize that we are Atma and all that, first is we have to stop the disturbances, the whirlpools of disturbances in our mind first. That is the first thing that we need to do.
That's what the meditation, that is the best thing.
Yeah.
Daily
In fact,
satsang.
Persiji, when I have been started reading this, the whirlpool is actually more, is churning it more and more, because I'm trying to find which is unfathomable, and I cannot perceive that, and that has been my struggle to know what it is.
That
And
is why they have talked about it. Okay, the path is also yoga and the samadhi sthiti is also called yoga. So samadhi or reaching Paramatma, Ishwar, whatever you want to call it, that itself is yoga. And the path is also called yoga. That yoga itself is ayam, niyam, asanas, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, the 8 limbs of yoga that we talk about. And along with that, the abhyas which is required, and along with abhyas is the dispassion, vairagya. Knowledge we are having, all of us. Now we should see that whether our sadhana we are following are we doing our sadhana regularly? Are we following yama, niyama?
yes.
And then a little bit, like I said, unless dispassion comes in,
Mm.
otherwise it will remain always my family, my this thing, my that thing. That dispassion has to come in. Self-centered is a sannyasi, as like Gurudev says, and he can enjoy everything.
I think by this time we have moved out from the self. It is not more of self now. It is more of the surroundings rather. It is like that awareness what other people require has grown more rather than what we require. It is it is not remaining self-centered now.
No.
Initially, yeah.
You're confusing the self. Self
No,
is
no,
your
I'm not confusing. I'm saying that Percy was saying, no, that uh, it
that self, no?
it should be like
Self means if you are
your
centering, respecting your Atma.
See, I have one statement to make. Uh, just see, in this world, there are so many people, good and bad both, right? Jab,
yeah.
when Maryada Purushottam Ram could not change them, who are we? When Krishna could not change them, who are we?
No,
So,
I'm not
when
talking about
Maryada
changing the
Purushottam Ram could
people.
not change, would Jagjivan Ram be able to change people in and
We
around
can't
us?
change.
No.
No, we can change only ourselves. No, we can't
Ah,
change the people
to
in the
accept them
society.
the way they are, not get
Yeah.
disturbed by them, not get disturbed by their ignorance.
Yeah, I don't get
See,
disturbed by
we are,
their no, I don't get disturbed. I was just talking like you are getting more aware. What is
huh,
what is happening? You are getting more aware. That disturbance is
because
not there.
yeah. Without the vrittis coming up, you are not
Yeah.
sitting in judgment over them, then fine.
No.
Your
No,
awareness is
no
good.
judgment and no complaining also.
Yeah.
Like, when initially, like my dog is very sick from last almost a year it would be. And it is like he's having a myelopathy, he cannot walk. So we arranged a cart, and by the help of the cart he moves. And because he's sitting for a prolonged period of time, and only twice thrice he's walking on the cart, because more moving on the cart he developed those rashes and bruises in his groins. So it is like, that taking care of the wounds, also making him mobile also, and taking care of his his retention of urine is going on. So it was like initially I just had to do the just to tell that okay, this is to be done. Sometime I would do, but when I saw that it is not happening in a proper fashion, in a regular fashion, and the sufferings were more of the dog. So I took it my responsibility that I will now myself do it. I will not rely on any person. I myself take care that I do the wound cleaning twice, thrice a day, and of course taking out the urine by the feeding tube. I do it myself only. So it was that, sometimes you see that uh, he is visible to all, but who is experiencing his this thing, what, like, he must be in discomfort, no, the urine is being holded up for a few hours, so he must be having pain, that is why he is crying, like he groans. So you come to know that he is suffering. So when you hear that, then you automatically think, no, that I should help him out. So I was just relating that, is it
That is
me only that who is aware? Nobody else is aware. So, and it is not that it is in a complaining mode, but I think that it is my duty, and because he is in my house, so it is my duty. Why should I rely on any other person? And why should I expect anything from some other person? So it is that awareness that I was talking about. That
Yes, that is very
one
good.
should,
That is Niswat
yeah,
Seva, as we call it. Niswat, without any expectation of the result of the karma you are doing it.
Eva
Like
is always
yeah,
Mother Teresa picked up the old people in Calcutta from the road. She took
yeah.
care of the lepers. She cleaned their wounds. That is that kind of Niswat Seva which we do. And that is why when you take responsibility, the more responsibility you take, the more powerful you get.
yeah, you feel that inner peace also, no,
Yes, yes,
that the mind settles itself. There is no complaint comes, no.
yeah.
You feel so satisfied inside, and unknowingly that calmness comes. It is not that you think that it will come. It unknowingly it comes. So it is just that awareness it was happening. So I was sharing that. Yeah.
True.
Jai Gurudev. So nice.
Thank you so much. Very, very beautiful. I think our time is up. So we will just wind up for today. And I will put the Brahma Jnanavali. Um, ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु
असङ्गोऽहम् असङ्गोऽहम् पुनः पुनः सच्चिदानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्यशुद्धविमुक्तोऽहम् निराकारोऽहमव्ययः भूमानन्दस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्योऽहम् निरवध्योऽहम् निराकारोऽहमच्युतः परमानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः शुद्धचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् आत्मा रामोऽहमेव च अखण्डानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रत्यक्षचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् शान्तोऽहम् प्रकृतेः परः शाश्वतानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तत्त्वातीतपरात्माहम् मध्यातीतः परशिवः मायातीतपरञ्ज्योतिः अहमेवाहमव्ययः नानारूपव्यतीतोऽहम् चिदाकारोऽहमच्युतः सुखरूपस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः मायातत्कार्यदेहादि मम नास्त्येव सर्वदा स्वप्रकाशैकरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः गुणत्रयव्यतीतोऽहम् ब्रह्मादीनां च साक्ष्यहम् अनन्तानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः अन्तर्ज्योतिस्वरूपोऽहम् कूटस्थः सर्वगोऽस्म्यहम् सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहं सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः सद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घट्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम्